Well, hello everyone. This is Atlas 66er, and going to give you an update on the 1984 replay and where we stand going into the month of June. My plan and my hope is to broadcast one American League game per calendar day and one National League game per calendar day. And we finished the month of May, and so I thought it would be a good place to introduce everybody to the replay and to show you what's going on up to this point. And so we'll start here with the American League. And this is the American League East, and this is the standings after May the 31st going into June the 1st. And of course you see the Tigers there. The Tigers did not start 35-5 in my replay, but they came dang near close. They're 37-9, and I mean, the Blue Jays are playing out of their minds. I mean, they're 31-15, but they're still 6 games back. But there's still hope. There's still prospect maybe for a race between the Tigers and Blue Jays. The Orioles are 10.5 back. The Red Sox are 11.5. Brewers 14.5. Yankees 15.5, and the Indians are 18.5 back. And then, excuse the camera movement, but in the Western Division is really weak. I knew that going in. The Royals have really, since they got George Brett and Willie Wilson back in the middle of May, they have been playing over 500, but it's taken them a while to get up to 500, and so they're leading the Western Division with a 500 record at 23-23. And so, you know, everybody really is in the hunt here. The Mariners are only a game back. The White Sox 2. The Angels are 3.5. Twins 4. A's 5. And Rangers 6 games back. I don't see, just from playing with the cards and getting a feel for the teams now, because after this many games, you know, you kind of have a feel for the teams. And I don't look for the Rangers really to get any better. You know, I really like the Rangers teams from the 80s, but they're really a weak team, weak lineup. You know, they've got a few guys, but they haven't been playing consistent other than Larry Parrish. But you know, Pete O'Brien, and I just liked a lot of those guys on the Rangers team. This may be a good place to tell you the reason I'm doing 1984 is that's the first baseball season that I really remember being all in as a young boy. I can remember, you know, I can remember all the way. I can remember We Are Family, the Pirates in '79. I remember very vividly the '82 season, especially the playoffs and World Series. I remember '83 with the Orioles and White Sox, and how I was just I was really in awe that the White Sox, you know, that year won their division. I can remember, I think it was, you know, what was it, 23 games, the second place team in the American League West, and I was like, wow, 23 games, you know. And then, but '84 was the first season that I pretty much followed all the way through. And during that summer, and I'll tell you that I'm a big Cubs fan, and so '84 is very dear to my heart. And the reason I'm a Cubs fan is because we were able to get WGN, and being, you know, a young boy about 12 years old, The Cubs played all of their home games during the day, so I was able during the summer to watch the Cubs during the day. And but anyway, I digress. Let's move on here and look at this is the next game up. I've got it set up, but let's look at some of the leaders here in the American League because I didn't want to do a real long video. Chet Lemon is off to a torrid start. He's batting .379. Lou Whitaker .341, and then Mattingly and McRae and Ripken. Dave Winfield, for those of you wondering, because I think Mattingly and Winfield kind of battled for the batting title that year, or they were up at the top. Winfield, he would be in here, but he's missed some games at the beginning of the season. He doesn't have enough at bats to qualify yet, and so I think we will be seeing him sneak into this leaderboard. Home runs, Tony Armas, who hit, I think, 43 or 44 that year. He's got 19 already, so he's really lighting it up. And then Rich Gedman, who I think hit around 20 or close to 20 home runs. He's already got 11. And so he's probably set to cool off some. Brunansky and Dave Kingman with both 11, and then Balboni, Evans, Gibson, Kittle, Lemon, and Mattingly all with 10. And then our RBI leaders, Armas, of course, with those 19 homers. He's got 48 runs driven in going into June. Kingman with 40, and then you got Evans and Parrish, Lance Parrish of Detroit with 37, and then Chet Lemon with 36. Stolen. Let's go up here to the stolen base leaders. Ricky Henderson of Oakland leading with 28. Damaso Garcia of Toronto with 21. Gary Pettis with 18 for the Angels. Dave Collins of the Blue Jays with 17, and Otis Nixon of Cleveland with 17. And then some of the main pitching stats. Rich Dotson of the White Sox leads in ERA right now with a 1.39. And then Boddicker, Danny Jackson of the Royals, Ray Burris of Oakland, and Doyle Alexander of the Blue Jays round out the top 5 ERA leaders. Our strikeout leaders, Bobby Witt, and it shouldn't be Bobby Witt. I don't know why I keep putting Bobby. It's Mike Witt. Please forgive me. I'll have that changed next time. I'm just, Bobby Witt Jr., isn't that his name with the Royals? For some reason, I think that's what keeps me, when I go to type it, I just type Bobby. But it's Mike Witt. So just change that out. Mike Witt of California with 68. Langston 64. Smithson with 61. And then we got 4 tied with 60. Blyleven Hurst, Jack Morris, and Rick Sutcliffe. And Sutcliffe is not going to stay in that list because he's going to move to the National League eventually. And then our win leaders, American League win leaders, Morris. He's actually 9-0, if my memory serves me correctly. He has not lost a game yet. And then, you got 3 Detroit Tigers. I mean, they're 37-9. So, of course, Juan Berenguer and Milt Wilcox with 8, joining Mike Boddicker and Jim Clancy with 8. And then our saved leaders, we've got Dan Quisenberry of Kansas City with 8. And then we've got 4 guys with 7. Ron Davis, the Vulture with Minnesota. Willie Hernandez of Detroit. Tippy Martinez of Baltimore. And Luis Sanchez of California. And so that's the American League. So let's take a look at the National League real quick, and we'll wrap things up. Of course, my Cubbies, they're off to a good start, but they're 31-16 and they have the lead, but they've just taken the lead here at the end of May. The Phillies got off to a start almost comparable to the Tigers, but they've hit a little skid over their last 15 games, and the Cubs have overtaken them. And as you saw in the video I just posted a few days ago, they've begun a big 4-game series, and so that's going to be interesting. The Cubs were a half game up, and after that game the other night, they've opened that gap to 1.5 games. The Expos are 4.5 games back. The Cardinals, who were under 500 for most of April and May, they've been hot. They've been as hot lately as the Phillies have gone cold, and so they've actually moved up in the standings. They're only 5 games back now. The Pirates have been playing well as of late, and they've moved their record up over 500, and they're only 6 games back. And then the enigma of the 84 replay, because in real life, the Mets were really the ones battling the Cubs at the end for the division title, but the Mets have just struggled in my replay so far. And I really love that Mets team of the 80s. Even though I'm a Cubs fan, I can appreciate good baseball. And, there's a little, I don't know how to say it. I mean, just about every team, there's something that I like about them. And I really like this Mets team, and I'm really looking forward, going forward in my replays, because my goal is to play the rest of the 80s, from 84 on into the early 90s till about the strike year, because that was really my wheelhouse in watching and keeping up with baseball. And I feel like replaying those seasons for nostalgic reasons, sentimental reasons, will keep me invested in the replays. But the Mets are struggling. 15-28, they're 14 games out. We'll see if they can do better. In the Western Division, the Padres have kind of had a lock on the Western Division. The Reds were a lot closer. They've stayed with the Padres, but the Reds have kind of, like the Phillies, gone into a little tailspin, and they've actually fallen below 500 in just the last couple of days. And so they've fallen to 6.5 back of the Padres. The Dodgers are 7.5 back. The Dodgers are kind of like the Cardinals in the Eastern Division. The Dodgers started out really slow, but they're playing hot baseball right now, and they're getting close to being back up to 500. The Astros, who will be playing the Dodgers in my next game, and I'm hoping to record this one. This will be the National League game of the day for June the 1st. It's the Dodgers and Astros, but the Astros have lost 10 straight. It's the longest losing streak I've had so far in the replay. They were 20-18, and they were up there with the Padres and the Reds, but this 10-game losing streak has knocked them back to 10 games back. The Braves are 11.5, and the San Francisco Giants, very bad team, 14.5 back. So let's look at some of the leaders, and then we'll wrap this up. The batting leaders, Gary Matthews of the Cubs is batting .368. Tim Raines, .353. Sandberg, .330. Al Oliver of the Giants. It's the only bright spot really on the Giants. He's batting .322, and he's not even going to stay with them. He'll be leaving soon to go to Montreal, I think, or either, is it Philadelphia or Montreal? One or the other. And then Leon Durham at .321. You can see 3 Cubs there in the top 5. They are really knocking the cover off the ball. I kind of look for them to cool off a little bit. So I think there will be a race in the National League East. Home run leaders, Ron Cey and Dale Murphy. Ron Cey just got off to a torrid start. I mean, I can't believe it. 16 home runs already. Durham with 14. Gary Carter and Mike Smith both with 9. The National League RBI leaders, Durham has 47. Murphy 43, Gary Carter with 40, and then two more Cubs, Matthews and Say, 39 and 36. And I assure you, it's not favoritism. I am a Cubs fan, but it's not favoritism. And in my replays, this will be the only time that my Cubs will have a chance to shine, maybe until we get to 89, when they won the division in 89. Stolen base leaders, Tim Raines with 22, Alan Wiggins of the Padres with 19, Samuel 18, Lonnie Smith 18, Von Hayes of the Phillies with 17. And then we go to the pitching side, and we have our earned run average leaders. Sanderson of the Cubs, pitching good, 1.49. Tim Lawler of San Diego, Pena of the Dodgers, Joaquin Andujar of the Cardinals, and Valenzuela of the Dodgers. And then strikeout leaders, Valenzuela is leading the way with 82. Doc Gooden has 79. Nolan Ryan of the Astros, who'll be pitching in the Astros-Dodgers game, has 75. LaPointe with 73, and Lynn Barker of Atlanta with 68. And then the win leaders, Tim Lawler has 9. Bryn Smith of Montreal has 7. He's tied with Mario Soto of Cincinnati. And then we have several guys that have 6. Andujar, Gooden, Kuzman, LaPointe, Charlie Lee, McWilliams, and Sanderson. And then we have our saves. And the save leaders, Gossage and Suter, both with 9. Jeff Reardon has 8. Lee Smith of the Cubs has 8, and that should be 9, because my friend Frank Wayne Scott, commented and said, corrected me, let me know that he thought that Lee Smith should have got a save for that last game, so we could put him up to 9. So he's tied with Suter and Gossage, and then Niedenfuhr with 7. Okay, and so with that being taken care of, we begin the month of June, and I'm all set up for the Astros and the Dodgers. It's going to be Rick Honeycutt for the Dodgers and Nolan Ryan for the Astros. So be on the lookout for that video as well. I don't know if anybody really is going to watch this. I'm kind of doing this for myself, just to kind of have a record to go back and look back on. But if you are watching, I really appreciate it. I'm not an expert. All I have is a cell phone. I don't have. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not looking to be a professional YouTuber. Just hoping to record, I guess, for posterity's sake and for my own sake. Part of my replay going forward. I'm also beginning a 1981 NFL replay, and so you may see some of that on the channel as well. Okay, well, I hope all is well with you, and I hope it stays well with you, and I hope you have a blessed day or a blessed evening whenever, whatever it is when you're watching this. And so I'll see you guys later.